Let's see. All right, my first chat ever. Well, first live. So I'm trying to find the chat. My desk. Be patient with me, please. This is my first time, and I actually broke a few things getting ready for this. So let's. Dun dun dun. Is this it? Is that it? That could be it. All right. Hopefully you'll see it. I don't know. We'll find out how that goes. Now where is that's you. Okay. Let me take a drink. Oh yeah, the ponies are back there. My favorite ponies. We didn't say it was going to be smooth. We said it was the first one. We're going to figure out the kinks, see how we can make this work. All right. I think, let me find out here. There we go. I can see the chat on the other phone because my desktop isn't available. So I want to make sure I can see them if any of them come up. If you're watching this on the replay, I have no idea how long this is going to be. Thank you for joining me. My name is Sarah Webb, and I'm on a mission from God to empower people and get them clarity and a life that they love through connecting with God. Did I lose you? I noticed that sometimes when you say the word God, people are like, poof, they're gone. So, the name of my channel has changed. So if you are a subscriber, I would love it if you would stay, if you would stick around and see if you like my videos. If not, please hit the unsubscribe button. I want you to find whatever it is that you are looking for. Right now, the focus of the channel is going to be on making videos that help people get clarity in their life through honing their intuition and connecting through their heart space with their, whatever you want to call it, source, God, divine intelligence, creator of all that is, love. Pick one of those that suits you. So yes, I am on a mission from God. And while it sounds very Blues Brothers, I asked for a mission, and then God showed up and said, well, you asked for it, so here it is. And it was actually a lot of fun. It's going to be more me. It's going to be me bigger. It's going to be me bolder. It's going to be me more often, more fun. I have started an Instagram channel, Instagram account, which is under construction. There will be a website. There will be a community. So that's about what I have so far until God tells me to change it, pretty much. Taking direction from the creator of all that is. So we wanted to, say like the royal we, who am I talking about? I had the intuition to make a live video because I went out this morning and met with one of my very good friends. We haven't had a chance to catch up on each other's lives for probably a little over a month. And we sat and talked for over 6 hours at a coffee shop. It was amazing. We talked about a lot of stuff. We always have a great heart to heart. And I don't typically share all of my spiritual journey with this friend. I respect her beliefs, and they are different, and I don't push, my way of life on anyone. But we had a lot in common, and things started to unfold, and I was telling her what's been going on for me for the past few months, and she wanted to hear more, and she wanted to hear more, and she wanted to hear more. I realized that when God said, be you, just bigger and bolder and sharing more of yourself and your journey, that this was exactly what God was talking about. I used the word God. You could say source, you could say divine intelligence, you could use whatever you like. So this video is mainly to recap what's going on the past few months, because I ended up sitting there telling her all of the great things that I have in the pipeline that I've been working on that have come out of my evolution for the past several months. And I'm like super duper excited about them. So let's back up. I may not go in any particular order, just let you know the best way. The beginning of June, I ended up going to the Wills Eye ER, which is an emergency room for people with eye problems. I had gone to the ophthalmologist because I was having eye issues, and the ophthalmologist said that I forget what she called them, my optic nerves were swollen, and I needed to go to the emergency room as soon as possible. So, short part of the emergency room bit is I ended up getting diagnosed with a condition called IIH, which is a fairly rare neurological condition that, because you have increased blood pressure, it increases the pressure on your cerebrospinal fluid. It can make you blind, is the short story. So what you need to do is there's medication, which I started, and you start working on weight loss. So since then, I'm down almost 30 pounds. It definitely lights a fire under you. And I've never had any chronic conditions. I always told my doctor that I was fat, but I was really happy. And I was pretty healthy. I didn't have any other issues. Not necessarily that I wanted to be overweight. I've been overweight. I've been thin. But I definitely, it got my butt in gear. So I started medication. I had a follow-up, and the doctor said, you need to come back in like 6 weeks to see how it's going, because there are a lot of surgeries you can have. They can put shunts in your brain, and honestly, it scared the bejesus out of me. I am a householder. I have 2 special needs kids. I'm married. We had just moved into a house, as you can see. This room is still getting worked on. So I came home and I had no idea what to do. I had this chronic condition. Food was my coping skill. I have a high stress job. I work with kids and teens and their families in the state mental health system where I live. It's a high stress job, a lot of families in crisis. The other part of this is I need to keep my blood pressure low. So there's a lot of self-care that goes into that while having a high stress job. So I had this diagnosis, and typically I'm pretty good at self-care. I'd already been trying to take care of myself, but I was getting overloaded at work. So I was not doing very well at all. I was talking to my husband every night and breaking down into tears. I was not using my normal coping skill, which was food, which that was a great thing, and I was losing weight. But I was I felt trapped because I couldn't find anything yet that was working for me. I wasn't able to exercise a lot because it elevated my blood pressure and it made my condition worse, and I had more eye problems. So every time I had an eye problem, it scared the bejesus out of me because I thought that I was going to go blind and I would never see my kids again. And that made me really... If you have anyone who you really, really love, I don't know of a better motivator than that. So after I went through about 2 weeks of crying every single day, I was like, I can't go on like this. I have to come up with something else. So I called all of my close friends and 2 close family members, and I said, listen, I need to be able to call you or text you if I want to eat a donut, because that's speaking to me. And they were all very supportive, and I did start using them as my supports. I also started the Artist's Way, which is actually, I had a copy of the book right here. Hopefully, I don't know, it might still be backwards on there. Anyways, the Artist's Way, I put it out to my a couple of my close friends, I let them know I was going to be starting it, and I wanted to start a group. It ended up that the timing didn't work for my friends who I reached out to, so I said, I'm just going to do this on my own. I'm going to do the artist way, and I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to get started. It's about creativity and getting in touch with your inner artist. I needed all the nurturing and all the support that I could get. I also signed up to get I got a therapist, because I just needed somebody to come home and dump everything to. I just needed to get it out. Like I said, I have a high stress job. So like I work with a lot of families in crisis, and sometimes hearing about all of these things happening to kids, not sometimes, it takes its toll on you. So you need to be able to put it somewhere. So having this additional diagnosis I was really struggling with it. So I started the Artist Way on my own. I got a therapist. I told my friends and 2 family members that I needed support. I don't have a lot of family members. I had a non-ideal childhood, so I don't have a relationship with most of my family. And life has never been better. I have not looked back. So the Artist Way was really instrumental in opening me up. It has there are 2 really important things. You work through chapters that have a theme each week, and they have different, what do I call it? All right, week 5 is the next one I'm going into. Recovering a sense of possibility. I like how you can like peek. I'm sorry, I'm a goofball. Talking this long about serious stuff. It's Saturday afternoon, but God said make the video, so all right, I make the video. The Artist Way has morning pages, which are every morning you get everything that's in your head out on the paper. You write 3 pages longhand just to get it out. It doesn't matter whether it's negative, positive, something else, whatever it is. You just write 3 pages longhand, just to like clear your head. Then there's an activity each day. It might be, what did your childhood bedroom look like, and what was your favorite toy? And it just brings to mind these playful, creative times that were in your life. The other important part of the program, aside from the morning pages, which you do every morning, is what's called the Artist Date. These could be, so what you're doing is you're nurturing your inner artist, which really is very closely related to your inner child. Whether they're the same or different is really not up for me to say. You can debate that all you want. I'm not a huge debater. I'm really more of a collaborator and a bringer togetherer. That's an official term. I've made it up right now. So the Artist Date can be anything like taking yourself to the zoo, going to an art supply store and looking at the art supplies. And by the way, what they call art can be any creative pursuit that you enjoy or want to do or haven't done for a long time and want to pick back up. It can be screenwriting, writing, painting, singing, pottery, wood crafts. I consider my life my art. So all of those things, I consider playing with my glow poi out on my front yard art. Now, is it highly skilled? No, it's not highly skilled. I have like 3 moves, but they make me happy, and that's all that matters to me. So taking yourself on an artist date every week and doing morning pages every day are really important. These were really crucial for me to get what was going on in my head out on the paper, and then making time every week to take myself out and do something that I enjoyed that was fun. That opened up so much. Things that I did included going to a miniature horse farm to go pet horses. The week before that, I went to a horse show trying to find some horses. You find a lot out about yourself too, because some things I thought I wanted to do, And when I got there, some of them I jumped right into, and some of them I realized I had fears around some of them. Like I wanted to go pet a horse and I had the okay to pet a horse, but there was no one else around, and I'm 6 feet tall, but horses are still taller than me. So a big horse can be rather intimidating. I mean, they're hundreds of pounds, and I didn't know how to approach a horse. So we went to the miniature horse farm, and instead I got in touch with some of my friends who know horses. I have gone to art stores to go buy unicorn stickers. I have bought gloves that, they're like bubble gloves, but they look like a unicorn. So you can like have unicorn hands, because unicorns do that all the time, right? I see them going down the street just blowing bubbles. Whatever lights you up and makes you excited and happy. It can also be relaxing. I tend to be a high energy person when I'm really like motivated and in tune. But it can also be as simple as making a cup of tea and picking up your favorite book and setting aside 2 hours to just leisurely read it. It's no expectations, just for you, and it's to nurture your inner artist. I had one artist date where I picked up a fairy magazine and just paged through it, looking at beautiful gardens, fairy wings, costumes. I like to sew, looking at beautiful clothing that I could sew. So it can be so. I cracked myself up. Oh, sorry, it's just me. I did the artist way. I continue to do it. So I did the artist way, got a therapist, asked my friends for support. I also started laying down some much stricter boundaries at work, including getting a second phone so I could turn mine off. And then when I was done, I was finished. Now, there were times when things still did get overwhelming, because I would meet with some of my more high conflict families, and I would notice that because my stress was higher, that I was still having eye issues from my IIH, because obviously my blood pressure was getting higher because I was stressed. So I did my best to manage those as I could. And I started tracking my calories, storing healthier food. I have lost over 100 pounds 3 times in my life. So it's not unfamiliar to me. I am not someone who has a hard time losing weight. I know exactly what I have to do to lose weight. I am a person who loves baked goods and cupcakes. And if I'm feeling bad, then a cupcake might help distract me. If I'm feeling good, then a cinnamon bun might help me celebrate. Let's go for pizza. So when I wasn't eating, I realized that I needed to address all of these emotions. And so I'm not a stranger to that. I did have a rather abrupt spiritual awakening. What is it, 2022 right now? So we're probably talking like 13 years ago. So looking at my emotions, learning how to deal with them, turning inside is not uncommon. Not something that I'm unfamiliar with. It takes time, and it takes time to process. It takes time to recognize. It takes time to relax enough to get in touch. So I started making that a priority. And I just started going in and finding out, how do I actually feel? Why do I really want a Twinkie? Do I really want a Twinkie? I'm not so sure I really want a Twinkie. A lot of the times I was tired. And when I'm tired, I wanted sweets to kind of boost my energy level back up. And so when I wanted that, instead I would go and get a cup of tea, or I would lay down and read a book. Or if I didn't have to, if I didn't have my son that night, because I have joint custody, but we have like one night on, one night off, one night on, one night off. And I know that sounds really unusual to some people, but it's been going on since he's been 18 months, so he's just used to it now. So if I didn't have my son, I would go to bed early, and sleep is just so healing. So I was going, and when I would work with my emotions, I started going within and focusing on my heart space. Um, I had not used my psychic skills for about a year, and that's a story for another time. We can go into that some other time, but I had not used my psychic skills for about a year. And I was untangling a lot of emotions. At first, of course, I had a lot in there. You know, there was crying, there was frustration, there was a lot of writing. I would write, even after my morning pages. What I was finding was that I wasn't having the highest emotions that I used to have. I wasn't having all of the joy. I wasn't having all of the, the good positive anticipation. Mentally, I would tell myself that I was grateful, but I didn't feel grateful. I could make a gratitude list and I would know, like, wow, the feeling I had was, I'm really lucky that I have a place to live. I'm really lucky that I have clothes to wear. I'm really lucky that I have people in my life who care about me. But I couldn't feel it in my heart. So, as I'm trying to recall this entire thing, I'm sure I'll add more later because there are no notes for this. This is just the past 2.5 months. I like to take naps on my couch because it's super comfy. It's a love seat, so you kind of have to curl up a little bit, and it's really smushy, so you kind of sink into it. And if you're somebody who likes to cuddle, it's beautiful. But it's in the middle of the living room, and when you walk into my house, you walk into the living room. So I can't always take a nap there because everyone's walking around the house, and you have to go right through where I am. But when I could, I would take naps there, and I found them really rejuvenating. I had a unicorn blanket because I love unicorns. Love unicorns. Love unicorns. Love unicorns. I love unicorns. Just a little lot big. I really like unicorns a lot. I had a unicorn blanket my friend gave to me. The same friend that I was talking to this morning. And I laid down one day. We're probably talking. This was in mid-July now. So I'm still going to therapy, still writing every morning, still starting to work with my emotions. I go to lay down with my unicorn blanket and take a nap. And I sense with my psychic senses that the unicorns have shown up. All right. I don't really want to cry, but I might cry because the unicorns are my very, 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 very favorite. They are beautiful, majestical creatures. Is majestical a word? No, I don't think it is. Majestic. That's an adjective. There we go. We got it. That's the adjective. They're beautiful, majestic creatures who... I don't want to talk about them too much because I'm afraid I will just tell you what I think of unicorns. However, they showed up and I was awestruck. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I didn't say anything. I was like, oh. I haven't seen the unicorns since 2017, 2016. It's been a while. And I did used to see them a lot. My first awakening, my main awakening, was under the auspices of learning how to love myself. And obviously this is the same, although in a different manner, what's happening now. At that point, I had been asking myself, what would love do? And following that direction. And then a lot of things opened up. I had a lot of very unusual and fringe experiences that are for another time. So the unicorns showed up and they told me that they were there to help and that they were there to support me. And that meant the world to me. I asked them, I'm having a really hard time. I'm having a lot of emotions come up. Can you help me process some of these? Because I need help with letting them go. I was having issues with, the biggest issue was control. I wanted to control everything. I wanted to control what was going to happen in my life, whether it's what happened at work, what people did at work, what people did in my house, on the road, it didn't matter. Like, you should be following the rules that I have in my head. Everyone in the world should be doing that. Well, that's not realistic, but that's where I was. And, you know, I have to own it, and I know that I'm not the only one there. So the unicorns started helping me. I would take naps, and I would ask them to help with healing. And I would wake up refreshed, lighter, rejuvenated. And I was just so grateful for their help. Like I said, I have not used my psychic skills for over a year, so this was the first time. And I know I just cried the first time it happened. So as this is going on, I'm starting to think maybe I can start using my psychic skills again. Because eventually I was crying less. I was getting a lot out of the Artist's Way. And the unicorns were helping me with healing. And I had found this reservoir within my heart that had a lot of resources and was connecting me with the unicorns, helping me process my emotions. And I felt like I could start using my psychic senses through my heart. I didn't want to use my psychic senses the way that I had last time. So I was feeling much better, and I actually started realizing I was having ebbs and flows. How does this work? All right, hold on. This is my first live, so please be patient. We're trying to find out how the waves go. There we go. So I'm having ebbs and flows of I'm doing pretty good, but then I'm dealing with these cravings, so now I have to process emotions. I'm doing pretty good. I have to process my emotions. And I was feeling overwhelmed with the emotions that I was processing. Not only that, but I was feeling that I had all of these emotions, and I thought that I was a pretty good person. I am really good at my job. I am a pretty good mom. I was not taking good care of my body. But I thought that I was a pretty good person, so that I shouldn't have to deal with this. And I realized that I had a lot of expectations, and that I was putting them out on life and not meeting life as it was. Where are we going to go with this? I had been beating myself up because I was blaming myself for not having enough energy and not meeting my own high expectations. Can you say perfectionist? Say it with me. Perfectionist. I am a recovering perfectionist. So, it was more practice. Instead of pushing when I wasn't meeting my expectations, I learned to dial it back and take better care of myself and schedule those artist dates, make cups of tea, take time to read, because I am a go person. You give me a list, I can knock it out, and then I'll be like, yep, I'm ready for the next list, let's go. But I realized that I was putting myself in a hole, because those feelings I was blaming myself for, and then I was feeling bad about it, and I wasn't able to pull myself out of that hole. And this is really the crux of it, to feel that I was worthy. I didn't feel that I was worthy of the effort to pull myself out of that hole. I did not believe in myself enough. And, you know, where that comes from is a whole nother story. But I didn't think that I was worthy, so I wasn't putting the effort in. I thought, well, once I become the person that I want to be, then I'm going to like myself. And that's not how it works. It works by liking, loving, and accepting who you are right now. A lot of people think that what you have to do is then you don't change. You're like, well, if I love myself the way I am, then I'll just never change, and there's stuff about myself I don't like. And that's not how it happens. You love yourself and give yourself enough space and compassion to actually feel good about making those changes. And when you feel good about making those changes, that is when the magic happens. people show up in your life to help you. You're open to new ideas. You feel better going through the process, so it doesn't feel like you're trudging through mud. Like, it always felt like I was trudging uphill, constantly trying to make myself a better person. I was always like, as soon as I lose another 10 pounds, as soon as I get all these meals prepped for the families, as soon as I accomplish this goal at work, as soon as I make sure that, this is done in my living space, or whatever it is. But one thing I know is that the list is never done. So I needed to come up with a solution. And I'm going to be honest, looked up stuff like reparenting your inner child. That's great. I've done that multiple times. It has come back when I'm under stress. I've done parts work to do that. I had 12 years of therapy after the childhood that I had, which, thank you God, saved my life. Otherwise, I'd be dead right now. I started looking for something that was going to make me, I needed something bigger than me to believe in. Excuse me. The best option I had was to go back to what I had done previously. I spent about 15 years in 12-step rooms. I think I left a video up. I left one video up because it gets a couple of hits. Most of my videos are down if you're a current subscriber. If you're looking for a video, let me know. I mean, I can't imagine you're looking for any of my old videos, but if there's really one that you want, let me know and I'll send you a private link. But most of them are down. But I did leave one up, which was how I started to believe in a higher power. So I went back to my 12-step days. Like I said, I spent 15 years in multiple rooms. I had multiple addictions after my childhood. And one of the things that you do in 12-step rooms is you come up with a higher power. Now, whatever you want that higher power to be is up to you. For some people, it can be the ceiling because it's bigger than you and it's not within your control whether it falls or not. So it is a higher power. For some people, it's the strength of the group. For me, because I have a very active and reactive inner child, and I am not going to say that my goal is to placate my inner child because I'm jumping ahead. All right, I'll talk about the child. I'll talk about the child a little more later. But my goal is not to make my inner child do nothing and be quiet. My goal is to honor my inner child and take care of my inner child. So I decided to design a higher power that worked for me because I needed a higher power that felt like it cared about me. I needed a higher power for support and comfort when I was feeling down. When I was processing these emotions and I was not feeling well, I needed that higher power to see me where I was, love me unconditionally, and just be there. As well as remind me, that I was loved. Because I wasn't always able to do it when I was there. Sometimes I was. I was mentally very well versed and very well practiced in telling myself that. I would give myself the words. But I couldn't conjure the emotion of love while I was feeling that. And I know I'm not the only person who's felt that way. I don't know of a worse feeling than being, and this is why I am making these videos, than crying and feeling alone, unloved, and unworthy. Because at that point, there's nothing redeemable about your life and there is no hope. So when you feel that way, you really need something bigger than yourself. So I went and designed a higher power that worked for me, one that I felt really good about. And I decided to go into my heart space and go talk to this higher power. First I decided to go talk to, I was rather scientific about this, and I'm really glad that I was. I recognized that I was having these dips and I wasn't able to come out as, I couldn't talk myself. My words sounded good, my emotions didn't match, and they weren't matching. I've been doing this for a long time. Doesn't matter how many times you tell yourself, I love you, or high five yourself in the mirror. Sorry, I have a blog all about high fiving myself in the mirror. It's a Mel Brooks? No, Mel Brooks is oh God. Don't leave any comments on that. I'm really bad at actors. Mel Robbins' book. I designed this higher power. I went to my heart space to go talk to the higher power. And I did it when I was not upset. Because when you're upset, everything feels bigger when you're upset. Everything feels bigger. So I went to go talk to my higher power. And if you watch that video that I put down below, I'll be honest, it's the same higher power. And I got exactly what I needed. I got what I wasn't able to get from what I wasn't able to feel from anyone in my life. Now, I have an amazing husband. I have wonderful kids. But none of them are able to, no person is going to be able to fulfill this need, because people have their own needs and they need to take care of them. And expecting any one person to fulfill all of your needs is insane. Like, it just is. Like, other people are not responsible for you. You're responsible for you. I'm responsible for me. So taking responsibility for my own emotions and finding something that was going to work for me was my top priority. Wow, 37 minutes. Sorry, I'm going to need more water. Thank you for your patience. I got so much out of this relationship with my higher power. It was fulfilling. I was able to go to this higher power on a regular basis within my heart space when I was not feeling well, to get comfort, to get solace, to feel loved, to be reminded that I am loved no matter what happens, whether I deal well with this emotion or whether I don't, because I was still judging how well I was handling these emotions. I don't know, maybe I'll do that until the day I die. I'm tired of trying to fix myself. I don't know, maybe you can relate. Leave me a comment down below. Are you tired of trying to fix yourself? I'm tired of trying to fix myself, and that's why I found a better way, and that's what I'm talking about here. So, as I started to feel better and better and better, because I had this source of eternal love, I found out that I had way more energy. I could navigate these ups and downs, and I wasn't having as many downs. I was feeling better. I was feeling better about myself. I was taking on more things that used to feel risky to me because I felt supported. I was getting out of my comfort zone to do more. And it just felt good to kind of get back into being me. So, are you starting to see the slippery slope of using your psychic senses and then asking more and more questions? So I started to feel so good that I got rid of my therapist. I think I had her for about 6 weeks. Met with her once a week. She was helpful, but then, the second to last time we met, it's like, I think we're probably going to end soon. I think, I don't have a whole lot more to share. Things are going pretty well. And then the next week, I was like, this is going to be the last time we meet. So she was very lovely. And I'm very grateful that there are people out there that you can talk to, because sometimes you just need to blah, 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 let it all come out. And then walk away. You just want to leave it there and just drop it. That's all you need. I don't know about you, but that works for me. Of course, we did look at some stuff, come up with some strategies, analyze stuff, but we weren't together that long. It was mostly handling stress. I was feeling much better, and my work is not going to be something that I will be doing for the rest of my life, mainly because of the stress. I can't do it with my IIH. I'm still losing weight, but really need to get a less stressful job. So that changed all of my plans, because I had plans of learning some more skills and starting another business, and which was very lucrative and very high stress. So instead, I was like, well, my psychic skills are getting better. I really don't know what I need to do. What are my next steps that I need to do? Because I'm at a crossroads. I don't know. I've done a lot of things in my life. I've been a teacher. I've worked in group homes. I've been an administrator at a nonprofit. I've worked all kinds of places. So I put out to the universe, or whatever it is that you would like. First, I do need to add one caveat. I don't know if it's a caveat, just a note. Ping, this is a note. For the past 15 years, ever since I originally had my awakening, I have gotten just about everything that I've asked for, which has made me really, really picky about what I ask for. And there are things that once I'm willing to do them become much easier, and I don't have to put as much work into them as you would think. Now, you have to be willing to do all of the work. That's the key. Willingness is the key to everything. You have to be open enough and willing enough to actually take all the steps that you think are necessary. But most times, you just start taking, at least for me, I start taking a few steps, doors open, and it's nowhere near what I thought it was going to be or take as long. I put out to the universe that I wanted to talk to the creator of all that is, because I needed direction in my life. Yeah, so I basically gave God a job. So whatever you want to call it, great creator, source, infinite intelligence, divine, whatever you would like to call it. I basically said, knock, knock, knock. I want to talk to you. I have some questions. And I know you're like, man, she's a bold chick, ain't she? Yes, I am. When I'm feeling good, I am. And I've been feeling a lot better lately. So like I said, been going into my heart space, not as much that much, because I've been feeling much better. And I went to go talk to my higher power. And I realized there was someone else there. Guess who it was? Yeah, so I felt into it. I actually have videos for all of these, because whether you're psychic or not, it's like a liminal state when you start to kind of tune in sometimes. So that stage where you're just waking up from sleep and you're kind of like, what, where am I? You're kind of getting reoriented. It's like that kind of twilight sort of stage. So I made videos where my eyes were closed and I could talk out loud. So I didn't miss anything, because if you know anybody who's psychic, I'm sure they can tell you that a lot of times you forget what happened or you don't remember the whole thing, and I didn't want to miss it. So I don't remember the exact words, but I remember feeling into and actually it wasn't even a person who I saw. It was a thing, because now remember, I'm pretty cautious about because I know I'm going within, I'm connecting with myself, I'm going into my heart space. I'm very cautious about what I connect with. And it was a thing, and I felt into it, and I was like, holy cow. It just felt like infinite intelligence, like divine orchestration. This is everything that was, everything that is, everything that ever will be, all of the information and organizing principles that I could ever have access to. I was completely blown away. I was like, oh, whoo, alrighty then. I don't remember what I said. I have to go back and look at the video. I do remember that I was totally intimidated. And I was like, oh my God, you're right. I did say that I wanted to talk to you. And of course, I was like, I don't really think you were going to show up. I didn't really think this was going to happen. But now it's happening. So I asked, oh, you know what? They gave me a name. That's right. And I had to go look it up. I don't feel like I should share it right now. But yeah, so I had to go look it up because I remember, because otherwise I would, at first it did appear as a person, and then I got a name, and then they switched to being seen as, for me seeing them as an item. Because if some guy had just shown up and said that he was God, or some woman, or group of people, or some glowing light, I would have been like, nope, goodbye. So it does have to get like baby stepped, at least for me. And I know a lot of people that I work with, it's the same thing, because we think that we're ready for something, but we're not always ready for it. That's definitely my case. So it ends up that, yeah, this was God. And God had some information, and God said that we had been working together for a while, which makes sense. I mean, isn't everybody working with God? I mean, it's where we come from. Like, hello, great creator of everything. Guess who's included in everything? You and me. So God said that, so I call infinite intelligence, great creator, whatever you want to call it, I call it God, and I will call it He, because that just works for me. So insert whatever works for you, but for my little human mind, that works for me. Do I think he's like some old guy up in the sky? No, but I also know that my mind can't actually wrap around it. At least right now, I've got so many other, I'm like a kindergartner. So no, that's what my mind can wrap around right now. God told me God had a mission for me. I don't think I included this, but I asked God for a mission. I asked God for a mission because I was feeling so good, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with the rest of my life with my IIH diagnosis, that I was like, you know what? I want a mission. Can I have a mission? Who asks for a mission? Like, who does? Me. I ask for missions. So I asked for a mission. God said that He had a mission for me. Yeah, I walked away that time too. So I would go, God would say like one sentence, and I would be like, ooh, I know I asked for that. I'm not ready. Goodbye. So talked to God some more, and God wanted me to be open to working with God. We worked slowly. I would come, I would ask a question. So I asked my higher power to come with me the first time, and my higher power did. So I've got my higher power, and then I've got God. And then I know that can be confusing, and you know, when we talk, I can clear that up. My higher power said that, you know, my higher power went with me the first 2 times and then said, you need to talk to God on your own. Like, I need to stand on my own 2 feet, which I do appreciate. And sometimes, you know, we need those pushes. So I have begun talking with God every morning. So I still write morning pages every morning. Still working on the Artist's Way. It's at a slower rate right now because, well, number one, back to school has started. So I am driving kids to school early in the morning. I'm also still working on weight loss. So I get up at 4:30 in the morning, and we either write, or my husband and I go to the gym, and then I take my son to school. Then we have time that I meditate, I do grounding and shielding, then I talk to God. So I started talking to God more and more, and then I realized that I was becoming more open to working with God. I was becoming more trusting of God, and that I actually did want, I did. I thought about it scientifically again, which is you have access to infinite intelligence. Like, you have access to everything you could ever want to know. And I'm here asking questions like, what should my focus be today? It's not like how to solve world peace, how to do this, because I don't ask those questions, and why I don't is a whole nother story. Like, I'm not changing those exactly today. I am part of the solution, and what I'm doing is my part. So we started to have a rapport. I started to talk a little bit more. It is still, we have conversations that are probably maybe 5 sentences at this point. But now I have also have enough of a relationship with God that I have turned my life over to God, because what better reason is there to like turn your life over to something? Because I know now, if you're psychic, or you've had an awakening, you've experienced this. You know that the source of all that is infinite love, and absolutely total acceptance, no matter what happens, and none of these things have I ever been told to do, by the way. I have asked for every single thing. The reason God showed up is because I basically knocked on the door. The reason I got a mission is because I asked for one. You can get a mission. Ask for a mission. Like, none of this was foisted on me. And so it was kind of a no-brainer. So I really had to face what my fears were around why am I unwilling to turn myself over to something which lives in my heart, is where I come from, loves me unconditionally, and knows everything about everything. Like, how smart do I think I am? As we used to say in the rooms, and just another bozo on the bus. I have a little bit of lived experience that, I share to help people. But everything that's available to me is available to everyone else. There is nothing special about me. Let me say it again. There is nothing special about me. You can talk to God. You can get whatever answers it is that you want. But I find that the biggest impediment is people feeling either alone, unloved, or unworthy. So that's really what needed to be addressed first. Because if you feel you are alone, unloved, and or unworthy, you won't even stand in front of God. You will hide. I know, because I did. And I felt that way. I'm not saying that I 100% feel the opposite of all those, but I am way farther than I was before. And I learned a lot more. I learned that it is not selfish to want to do well for myself, my family, my community, because I'll be honest, I am tired of not being able to help the people who I see who are struggling. I want to be able to help those people who I can help. I want to be able to donate, to buy your child a wheelchair. I want to be able to do that. And the idea that I was talking down to myself and being so critical of myself totally negated and denied the fact that I'm divinely made. And God told me I don't completely understand that. I know the phrase, I am divinely made, but it doesn't mean a lot to me, I'll be honest. And I don't understand the entire breadth of it, but I'm willing to. So God said, you are divinely made. Everyone here is divinely made, and we do not, I'm gonna cry. We are so loved and cherished and completely adored. And we can't even get close to that love and that adoration and that like total cherishment. Because we have told ourselves that we need to be thinner, better looking, richer, kinder, that we need to be better. We just need to be better people before we can actually think well of ourselves. We're wrong. God loves us, adores us, created us. If God loves you exactly the way you are and wants your dreams to come true, who are we, you and me, to say otherwise? That's pretty bold. And I'll tell you what, I learned a lot of that along the way, which was I thought that I knew better than God. I thought that I knew better than God and that, oh, well, God's just a nice entertainment. We can talk about that later. I really have my own stuff that I want to do. Until I realized all the stuff that I want to do, those dreams that I have, where do you think they come from? They come from God. God plants those dreams in my heart. God plants dreams in your heart. Those ideas that you think, oh, wouldn't it be fun if I went outside and ran around in the rain? Wouldn't it be a great idea if I threw a dinner party and invited the neighbors? Wouldn't it be a good idea if I painted my car pink and then put streamers on it for no reason at all? It's just fun. Getting in touch with your inner child is all about giving yourself permission to be creative and to play, and it's directly related to how worthy you feel. So, I was talking to my friend today. Kind of went in a little bit of a different direction, but I can always make some other video later. And she started asking me what I'd been doing. And I told her, because she knew I'd invited her to the Artist Way, and I told her, I said, because the mission that God gave me, right, I didn't say that. So the mission that God gave me, first I have to say, even first before that, I can never make a short video. So you made it this far. You, my friend, get a star. I need a star. You should get all I have is glitter. If you want some glitter, I'll mail it to you because you stuck in for a very long time. I need stars or like stickers. Okay, so first, I can't make anything short. I'll probably learn how to do that. I tried to make a reel on Instagram today. I tried like 5 times, 30 seconds, I don't know. I could sneeze and take up 30 seconds. My friend told me that she's been trying to work on herself. And I told her I got sick and tired of working on myself. I felt like I've spent the last 30 years working on myself. I'm tired. I've been working on myself for 30 years. 30 years. When am I done? Not even like I'm done, but when can I at least take a breath and take a break? Because I wasn't getting anywhere. So I told her that I learned how to talk to God. Now I'm on a mission from God, and I need to share as much as I can with other people because otherwise I am doing them a disservice. And she asked me a little bit more. We started talking some more, and I told her, the story I just told you, a couple different words. And she said, I can really relate. And we're sitting in this coffee shop, and it's Saturday mid-afternoon, lunchtime. And I've known her for a couple of years, and we have a lot of similarities. She had a pretty rough childhood too. And I can see that she wants to know more. And she's like, what do you think? What do you think is going to help people with this? And I said, I have something that will work for anyone, no matter what your background, what your religious beliefs, how busy you are, what walk of life you come from. You need willingness, you need to be open, you need to be honest, and you have to take responsibility for yourself. But you can get so many things from this. You can get clarity, you can get direction in your life. You can have more love than you ever imagined forever, at any time, always. Because don't get me wrong, sometimes we need what I like to call God with skin on. And it took me through other people leading up to that, having other people in my life supporting me so that I was actually even willing to take this risk. And I'm not discounting that. But so she asked me what I thought that people could get out of this, or what I was trying to do. And I said, well, God gave me the mission. I said, but I have been alone in the dark, crying with no answers and not knowing why I'm trying so hard and things aren't working. And I've gotten answers this way. I've gotten, there aren't accidents. Like, things have happened for reasons, and they've set up other things. And being able to, we think that talking to God is a one-way conversation, and God never answers. You can get answers. Because I don't want people crying in the dark, feeling lonely, unloved, and unworthy. Because I don't think that there's a worse feeling in the world. I really don't, because that feeling means there's no hope. And if there's no hope, then why think about the future? What I've learned connects me to other people, puts me back into life, gives me energy, vitality, vibrance, and oh my God, excitement again. Like, right now, the problem I have is I am so on fire for life every day that I'm learning how to kind of bring my energy down a little bit just to sit at the coffee shop and talk with my friend. I asked God for help because I was a little concerned. I was like, listen, I want to go 1,000,000 miles right now, but I love my friend to pieces and I want to sit and be present with her and listen to what's going on in her life. Please help me do it. And God did. I can't imagine anything better. Like, I'm just so excited about it. So, there's gonna be more posts on the channel. There is an Instagram you can check. There's nothing up there right now. I had a whole bunch of fun with Instagram earlier, because if you're on Instagram and you want to get help, the way you get help on Instagram is you shake your phone. So my husband's like, what are you doing with your phone? Because he's not on social media. I'm like, I need help from Instagram. I sent like 4 messages and they never got back to me. So if you do help for Instagram, I did actually finally figure out my problem, but maybe we could work on the response time a little bit, please. Thank you. So there'll be more videos. I don't know what they're all going to be on. I know that I've got some ideas for some events. I know that I'll be working with more people. There will be more to come. If I can help you with something, reach out. And I'll let you know how much God says it's going to cost, because head honcho's in charge, not me. That's why I talk to him every day. What do you need me to do? X, Y, Z? All right, I'm on it. But no, please don't expect any responses between 4:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, because that is when I am just booking. Meditation, morning pages, talking to God, shielding and grounding, going to the gym with my husband, dropping off kids, and then the day starts around 9:30. So I hope you're having a lovely Saturday. Hopefully you got something out of this. I'm excited for what comes, and I'm wishing you a lovely night. I love you, and even more importantly, God loves you and is always there within your heart, available at all times. Have a good one, my friends. Bye-bye.